Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, namo namaha, jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org, and there's a donate button. Please help us out. And please stand up for the Hindu, yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle. It's all of those things. Don't fall into the MO of the invaders and divide us. We're Hindus, and we do yoga to reach Atmana. Today's podcast. There is a famous cliche in the West anyway. If you want to soar with the eagles, you just have to stop hanging around with the turkeys. Now, this is interesting because let's not disparage the wild turkey, who is a very proud, strong, keen, sharp animal. Domesticated turkeys? Not so much. So this is what's meant by this famous saying. If we want to soar with the eagles, we don't want to hang out with the turkeys that are weak, capitulating. In this sense, domesticated, easily taken advantage of. And the eagle is the national bird of America. And it's very interesting to ponder that many people want to come to America, and there may be a subconscious understanding here of that American spirit of trying to find one's inner strength, inner independence, all the wonderful qualities of the eagle, which was also very sacred to the Native American Indians as well, especially eagle feathers. The eagle represents that proudness and independence and strength and freedom. Sadly, when the two civilizations clashed, the Native American Indians lost. So we have to consider that there are always winners and losers in life as we go through this dance of duality. The question is, which are we going to choose to be in this life? Are we going to be on the winning side or the losing side? Are we going to be brave? Are we going to be weak, capitulating? Now in the Hindu yoga dharma, Garuda is the eagle and the Vahana of Mahavishnu. Hamsa the swan, the Vahana of Ma Saraswati. Flying, ascending to heights, inspirational goals in life, seeking to soar like the eagle, like Garuda, to fly like the swan, the beauty of the swan, to ascend, rise up. Now Mahadev Shiva has Rudra, fire, the natural ascension of fire itself, the deity of fire. Actually, that's the first word of the Rig Veda. Praise, Mile, the fire, Agni Mile. In other words, ascension, rising up, flying up, soaring up, which includes the qualities of strength, getting one's inner fire going, their inner Shakti, being able to fly, to soar. It's interesting that the national animal symbol of India is the tiger, the Bengal tiger, representing grace and strength and agility and power. As present-day Hindus, we have to ask ourselves, are we exhibiting these qualities, or perhaps the antithesis, being frightened and scared and nervous and panicky and easily intimidated? We know this because if we're honest with ourselves, we have to realize that so much of the Hindu yoga dharma has been stolen right from under us. And even worse than that is many quote-unquote Hindus have actually capitulated to these thefts as they become so-called professional certified yoga teachers, joining the nefarious yoga alliance. We've gone over this before, but this is worth repeating, fellow Hindus. Ask yourself some serious questions. Why are Ayurveda, chakras, Kundalini a New Age thing and not Hindu? Why is karma just anything but not Hindu? Why is a mantra any repetition but not Hindu? Why is a pandit a politician, not a Purohit? And sadly, it gets worse. Why are Arya and swastika about an evil race? Why are they not about a holy place? You know, Hitler never even used the word swastika. Why is the original homeland now the troubled nation of Pakistan? Why do many make fun of the Bindu? Why are many of you afraid of the word Hindu? Hindu, Chandrasarit Soma Bindu. This is what it means to be a Hindu. Samudra Dayarti Vayub here. And why is a guru just anybody? Diet guru, fitness guru, Wall Street guru. Try that one time with Imam, see how far you get. Too tolerant is not a virtue, my friends. And why, oh why, is yoga an exercise for money? And the Hindus are not even given credit for the numerals and especially zero, sunya. We Hindus need to look in the mirror. For if we continue to capitulate rather than educate, the dharma will only continue to deteriorate. So do you want to soar with the eagles? Do you want to fly and transcend? If so, there is a methodology. That is living the Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle, starting with karma yoga and bhakti yoga and raja yoga to jnana yoga. And within those classic 4 yogas, we do hatha yoga, Hindu devotional postures. Mantra yoga, Hindu devotional chants. Japa yoga, Hindu devotional chants on beads. Nada and Nata yoga, Hindu devotional music and dance. All this stimulates the inner awakening, Kundalini yoga. And as Hindus, we always start with Mahaganapati. And then see where that leads as we follow our various sampradayas. Say we are a Hindu family, Saiva, Vaishnava, Shakti, the 3. So let us live in harmony and follow the dharma and plant your yoga tree. Karma Bhakti Raja Jnani. This is Hindu dharma. Om Shanti. So we go pade, step by step, sutra by sutra, thread by thread, as we have a strong foundation and climb up till we eventually fly, till we soar. And be proud to be Hindus. Say, I've got a dot on my head and it's really, really red. It's a bindu because I am a Hindu and I am proud to be a Hindu. What about you? And I do yoga because it is Hindu. Karma Bhakti Hatha is to Rajagyan. It's all yoga. It's all Hindu. It's not boga or bogus. So sadly, ask people today, what is yoga? You'll get anything but, oh, it's all about the Hindu dharma, Hinduism, the Hindu religion. Just simply look up the words Sanskrit and yoga, and you'll find that this is all about the Hindu dharma, Hinduism, the Hindu religion. So we have to be honest and ask ourselves, do we really want to soar with Garuda, soar with the eagles? Do we want to take flight? Or do we want to remain flightless, incapable of flight? What's holding us back? Now here's something interesting that I think all of you should do is at least have a dictionary in the family. It used to be that everyone had a dictionary in the family, but now with the prolific use of cell phones, etc., it's so easy to just ask Google. But a dictionary is wonderful because you can follow the progression of words. So I happen to be looking up the word flight. And in sequence, from flight, the act of flying, we had flightless, which is the opposite, incapable of flight. Under that, we had flighty, which means fleeting, transient, flights of imagination, capricious, and mildly insane. Ask yourselves, are you flighty? Do you bounce from one thing to the other? The antithesis of that for Hindus is Shraddha, being firmly established in the Dharma. Or are you bouncing back and forth? Now, yes, as we go through our many lifetimes, which is something that we Hindus believe in, remember, when we're teaching people real yoga, and all of it, when we say that word, we mean all the yogas, we're teaching them a worldview which includes reincarnation, which is not Christianity. The monotheistic religions do not believe in Christianity. All religions, of course, are not the same. What an absurd notion. They're very different. We want to find similarities and harmonies with our fellow human beings, yes. But if we don't respect differences, we're just being foolish at best. We're being like the domesticated turkeys, being easily fooled, easily taken advantage of. Now, in our many lifetimes, yes, we're going to do everything and its opposite. We're going to be strong and we're going to be weak. This is all the learning curve. In the Hindu Yoga Dharma and Saivism, we sing a song to Shiva, Sada Lolahara Nama Shivaya. The truth, Sada, of the swing Lola of life as we go from one extreme to the other. This is the learning curve. And what is the purpose of this? It's Hara. It's destroying our ignorance. We have to live life. Be willing to make mistakes as we go from one extreme to the other. This is the purifying process. So we have to ask ourselves, are we being fleeting, transient? Do we just bounce from one relationship to the other, one thing to another? Do we get even worse? The next word in progression in the dictionary is flim-flam. What is that? That's trickery. That's nonsense, humbug, nonsensical. A flim-flam man, flim-flam woman. These are con men and con women. We've done podcasts before about the wisdom of the spiral and the actual climbing of a spiral staircase at a lighthouse, for example. And what happens when you spiral and ascend, because you can also do the opposite. Just like the chakras, they can spin in forwards or reverse. So if we ascend in the spiral, we reach the top of the lighthouse and we become a beacon of light to others, to guide ships safely into the harbor, if you will. Great metaphor for life. For ascending to becoming a teacher, a beacon. Or we can choose to be the opposite and we can be a con man, con woman, flim-flam. Next in line is flimsy. Without strength, unsubstantial, frail, limp, sleazy. There's a huge difference between being flexible and being flimsy. Flexibility implies strength. Flimsy is to be weak, limp, frail, unsubstantial, as opposed to being a person of substance, shraddha. Do we flinch? Next in line. Do we draw back? Do we have a negative reaction? Reaction is an important part of being human, so that we can get out of the way of a speeding automobile, for example. But we want to be careful about negative reactions. Do we flinch at the least bit of controversy? Or are we willing to be like the tiger, step up to the plate, confront in good taste, in good sportsmanship, being a good sportsman of life, sportswoman of life? Playing the game of life fair. Again, this is something that perhaps many people subconsciously realize about the American spirit, even though some Americans lose this spirit, and they just can't stand losing, if you will. We need to develop that spirit of sportsmanship, where we play the games of life, and sometimes we win and sometimes we lose. But we're not afraid to put ourselves out there and play the game. After flinch, we find the word flinder. Interesting word, not very often used. Flinder is a piece or a fragment or a splinter. Are we just taking something in a very partial way? A very incomplete way, failing to see the larger picture? Again, if we take this Sanskrit Hindu word yoga, it implies the entire lifestyle of what it is to be a Hindu. From the Vedas, yoge samana parivam sapta shravato ratto gat. Within this body chariot, this body temple, if you will, We can find our beautiful, tranquil inner nature through the process of yoga, which means that we as Hindus live the entire lifestyle, not just pieces and fragments of it. The entire lifestyle of karma, bhakti, raja, jnana, hatha mantra, japa, nada, nata, kundalini. In the Hatha Yoga, which are Hindu devotional postures of Hinduism, we have an asana called Vrikshasana as we praise or worship the tree. And look at the tree. To be a fully blooming and blossoming, fruit-bearing tree, we need to have all the pieces together, not fragmented. We need to have strong roots, Karma Yoga. We need to have a substantial trunk reaching up. That's our devotion, Bhakti Yoga. Branching out into the many aspects of the royal state of Raja Yoga, the flowering of the spirit, to the culmination of Jnana Yoga, or the fruit of enlightenment. And we keep repeating this process. Mahoramahuha, again and again. Yam yam tam tam in Sanskrit. To keep repeating this habit of Karma Bhakti Raja, which will lead to Jnana Yoga. Essentially, in English, in general, just trying to do the right thing with full devotion, full concentration. Keep up this process again and again and again, and you will achieve a relative degree of success or enlightenment. And light we're meant to be, inner realizations, epiphanies. Ethics, devotion, meditation, enlightenment. Hindus call this Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Let not our deep understanding of these profound disciplines not just be a fling, the latest fad. That's the next word. After flinder, we have fling, to throw aside, to cast off. Are you just into yoga because it's the latest fling or fad, if you will, and then you cast it off for something else until the next fad comes along? What a shallow way to live. Let's get the courage to dive into the deep end. And how do we do that? Well, we have to harden ourselves in a good way, meaning becoming strong with a solid foundation. Interestingly, the next word in succession after fling is flint. What's flint? Quote, a massive, very hard piece of quartz which strikes fire with steel. Interestingly, having a strong foundation. And this strong foundation in general, again, is simply striving to lead an ethical and devoted and meditative or concentrated life. For Hindus, Karma Bhakti Raja, Jnana. Also the understanding of the wisdom of Ganapati, the first deity. Looking simply at the symbolism, whether you have an inner connection or not, is usually kind of secondary. Look at the powerful symbolism of Ganesha, the very image. It induces a sense of stability and solidness and foundation. The elephant, the big belly, sitting confidently with one foot down, one foot up. Prakriti Purusha, taking care of business in the world. Not neglecting our inner spirit. Having this strong foundation. The first chakra, Muladhara, earth element, being grounded. Which takes us full circle to the understanding of, with a strong foundation, now we can truly transcend, which means to climb, rather than transvalue, which means to skip over, like becoming a so-called 200-hour professional yogi. Basically clueless as to what even yoga really is. As we have a strong foundation and then ascend and fly and soar. All the way up. From flint to fling to flinder to flinch to flimsy to flimflam to flighty to flightless to true flight, the act of flying, to Garuda, to Hamsa, to praising the fire, Agni Mile. As we go up and in, Now, the chakras are real experiences within all of us. And again, like a wheel, they can either go forward or backward. Like a spiral, they can either take you up or take you down, depending on how we live our life. So we can ascend from a strong memory, knowing who we are, Tattvamasi, thou art that. We are the Atmana of love, light, and energy, Jyoti, Shakti, Ananda, Shanti, Sat, Chit, Ananda, to the second chakra of reason and the Matajis and logic. Does it make sense? Is it reasonable? Think to a certainty. Then you can go beyond thinking. As you use your third chakra, Manipura, of willpower, that inner fire that's ascending you up to the heart chakra, the true experience of the love that needs no catalyst, the Anahata chakra, the no-hit, the pure experience, as opposed to like and dislike, Ragadavesha, the true Ananda. As we further purify at Visuddha chakra, flying up to the Bindu, the mark of the Hindu, Puram Bindu Vajri Parush Tutaha, ancient soulful Bindu Hindu warrior. Ajna chakra. Up into the enlightenment at Sahasvara, the fontanella, the top of the head. Enlightenment. And light we're meant to be. Flying up, transcending. Soaring with the eagles now. As opposed to being stuck with the domesticated turkeys, if you will, being rather frightened and intimidated by others, and thus forgetting who we are at the first chakra, then being unreasonable, illogical, not making sense, using our willpower for nefarious purposes or not using it at all. And our love now becomes a selfish love, a narcissistic love. Putting your name on yoga? Come on. Purification is really not happening. Spiritual perception? Not really there. Remember, that's why in Saiva Hinduism, we wear the tripunda, the three stripes of vibhuti, the holy ash, which reminds us on a daily basis to burn up lobha, krodha, kama, greed, anger, lust. When we do, it uncovers that which was always there, just like when the clouds dissipate and we see the sun that was always there during the day. The mark of the Hindu, the bindu, the inner light, the antar jyotir. Bahir jyotihi, pratyag jyotihi, parapara jyotir jyotihi, swayam jyotihi, atma jyotihi. Sivoshmyaham, say to yourself, I am that light within and the light without. That light is the Atmana, beyond cause, the light of all light, self-effulgent light. The Atmana is light. We are that. Imperishable. And on into the Sahasvara chakra. And reflect on the center of the Sahasvara chakra. The center of the spiral. Look at Mahadev's hair, his jata, wound up in a spiral, out of which comes Gangama, symbolically understanding of the energy that runs up the Shushmana, having harmonized left and right brain. As we go into the center, the eye of creation, the eye of the black hole, the eye of the hurricane, tornado, whirlpool, breaking wave, conch shell, cochlea, the spiraling dance of creation, which is spiraling around the no-thingness, the absolute experience of which we cannot speak. Yatovacho nivartante aprapyas manasa saha. Yogi Gorakanath. That experience is beyond speech. It's even beyond the very mind that seeks to comprehend it. Hence, unlike the soul, which is still connected to the mind, psyche, the Sanskrit Hindu word Atmana literally means not the mind, nor the body, nor the emotions, the zero experience invented by the Hindus, the no-thingness, it's the fullness of everything. And we go there every night in the depths of sleep, without which we cannot function during the day. True soaring, independent, flying into the depths of inner realization, coming back down to earth, repeating the process, enjoying the flight, enjoying the transcendental experiences, having been fully grounded in the material existence, not avoiding it, not running away from it, transcending it, having a solid foundation, from which we rise again and again and again in this beautiful dance, Nataraja, of creation, preservation, destruction. Dance, prance, send us into a trance. Pirouette on our negative worldliness, spinning it out of sight. Let us join hands and dance. Round and round we go in an endless dance. Love is perhaps the only thing we know. Love of the dance. Love of the journey. The love of flight. Soaring like an eagle. Jai Garuda Vahana. Om Namo Namaha. And Jai Saraswati Ma and Hamsa the swan. Hamsa, so hum. That I am that. In other words, practice, practice, practice. Dosa dristam horam huha, again and again and again. To attain that Saraswati experience. Ma Saraswati's name means having flow. That only comes through practice, through diligent effort. Through lighting the inner fire, Rudra, Omatatmanam Shivatmanam Sri Rudra Rupam Dhyayeti. Light that inner fire as we ascend to that inner reality that we've always been. Hence Tattvam Asi, that thou art. The inner essence that Hindus call Satchit Ananda, Jyoti Shakti Ananda Shanti. But in general, the inner essence of all, this inner energy and light, inner light and the feeling of lightness, and the heat or the warmth which translates into the human experience of bliss or love, the inner essence of all, and our animal friends too. Light your diya every day, Hindus, your India. Light the diya on the outside and the one on the inside by living a Hindu yoga, religious, spiritual, scientific, philosophical lifestyle. And make it your aspiration to soar with the eagles. Then from that place, return the favor by sending out this love and light and energy to others. Wish them an auspicious life, a life of peace, relative peace, obviously, fullness, tranquility. Sarvesham svasthir bhavatu, sarvesham shantir bhavatu, sarvesham purnam bhavatu, sarvesham mangalam bhavatu. And then pray for, and especially do what we can hands-on to help those that are in need, sick, suffering, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu makasya dukkha bhag bhavet. And then turn the gaze back in on ourselves and become self-motivated as we go from untruth to truth. Humbly admit our ignorance to an ever more enlightened state of being. And regularly tapping into that immortal nectar within, that amritam, the soma, the ananda bliss. Omasato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya. Seeking a peace through strength and wisdom and justice. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.